Good morning. My name is Linda Morra, and I'm this year's Craig Dobbin Chair of Canadian Studies here at UCD. Today I'm joined by Shani Mootoo, the award-winning Canadian Trinidadian novelist, who is here to present the keynote lecture on April 28, 2017 at the Untold Stories of the Past 150 Years Conference. The conference is being hosted by the Canadian Studies Centre and the College of Arts and Humanities at UCD. Taking place over the course of 3 days, the conference is designed to consider and critique Canada's 150th anniversary. Delegates from all over the world, including Hungary, Spain, China, Australia, the United States, and of course Canada, will be here to discuss and consider the kinds of stories that Canadians have told and have yet to tell about who we are, our history, and our past. In many ways, Shani Mootoo is the ideal writer to take up these themes because her novels also address issues of identity, migration, and how the stories of the past impinge upon and shape the present. To date, she has about 6 books to her credit, including Sirius Blooms at Night, which was shortlisted for the Scotiabank Giller Prize in 1996 and was longlisted for the Man Booker Prize, and also Moving Forward Sideways Like a Crab, which was longlisted for the Scotiabank Giller Prize in 2014. Welcome, Shani, and thank you for joining me today at UCD.
Thank you.
I thought we might begin by talking a little bit about your reasons for being here in Dublin. So in part it is to give this keynote lecture at the conference at Untold Stories, but there's another reason why you're here in Dublin. Let's start with that.
The simple reason is that I was awarded a Chalmers Fellowship. And the longer reason is that I was born in Dublin in 1957, about 45 years or 47 years or so before the Irish laws changed regarding citizenship of children who were born of foreign students or foreigners in the country. That little piece of paper, my birth certificate, has caused me quite a bit of trouble in the last few years.
So you've been saying that essentially citizenship and belonging are really separate entities, they're separate things. You can have that piece of paper, but that doesn't mean that you'll feel like you belong, even though you're told you belong here.
When my publisher sent me to to Ireland on that little trip, something happened that shocked me. It was always a joke that I was born in Ireland. I would say to someone, they would say, "Where were you born?" Or, you look Indian, is English your second language or whatever? And I would say, well, actually, I was born in Ireland. And there'd be this big, like guffaw or shock or whatever. And it's like, silly jokes would be made and so on. So it was a joke. And then as the plane came closer to the coast and I could see the coast of Ireland, I was shocked. It was a joke that I was born in Ireland, and yet this thing welled up inside of me, and I began to cry.
Wow.
And then at that time in the 90s, I don't know what the circumstances were, but we had to get off the plane and walk down the ramp onto the tarmac. And when I touched the ground at the airport, I was inconsolable. I was just really, I felt something.
There's a sense of longing or searching that's characterizing some of the stories you're already recounting this morning. So could we talk a little bit about that kind of searching now and the visit that you're making now? It's not just about the conference, of course. So let's talk about the project that you're working on now.
Well, it stems from this sense of being an outsider in many, many places. And this outsiderness has been profitable in writing and in visual arts and so on. Mm-hmm. And I think the profitability of it has come out of post-colonial artwork and writing and so on. That is now an industry, basically. There was a time when artists and writers like myself were completely invisible. And through various kinds of activism, and I would say that it was a great deal of that activism came out of Canada and out of Britain in the 90s. And people like myself immigrants to these countries, or people who were born there but they're of minority cultures, gained visibility. And publishers became interested in our works. Curators became interested in our works. So in a kind of a way, racism created a niche for a particular kind of writing and a particular kind of critiquing, and for post-colonial studies in the way that it is now, for the voices particularly of academics of color and so on. Is, can I find Canada in my bones? Can I find Canada? Can I find Canada in my tongue, in this tongue that was formed first in Trinidad? You know, I don't know if I can, and that is part of what I'm doing in Ireland. I don't know what it is like to belong someplace, and yet I've been told that by this Consul General, as well as through this piece of paper that I have, that I belong in Ireland. Is it possible to come to Ireland, feel this right, some kind of right inside of me, walk around? It's kind of like a performance, a performance art piece. And from the start, it's a failed project. It will never happen. I know this, but I'm an artist. We deal in failure, and in experimentation. You know, to find little gems of creativity and so on. So, what I really want to do is to capture the stunning moment of a landscape that says more than what we can actually see with the eye. And then I want to put that into words in a way that I myself have not heard them before.
The sublime. This is the sublime, the magnificence of a landscape that eludes words, the sublime.
Yes, and it's been done 1,000 times. It's uninteresting, you know, in the world of art and stuff like that. But that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do.
Here's a desire I have. I'm hoping you can accommodate me. Can you give us a sneak preview about what you're going to talk about on Friday?
I'm a lot of this. I'll talk about why I'm in Ireland. I'll talk about this whole project of wanting to taste what it might feel like to belong in a place and have rights.
Well, I'm glad that you've at least chosen to come back here and chosen to speak at the conference and chosen to speak with me today. So thank you for that.
Well, the opportunity that you have given me. So I had my project, of course. I had my project, which was a visual project and words and so on. But the opportunity that the conference has given me was to put this not in poetic language, but to think about it really deeply, and not to try to create a pretty story, but to really, really probe it. It's been an incredible opportunity, and I feel tremendously grateful to you and Dr. Hafferty for allowing me.
We're honored to have you here. We're at UCD. We're honored to have you here. Thank you, Shani, for joining me today and having this conversation with me. I hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. And this is just a reminder that Shani will be speaking on Friday, April 28th at UCD at 4:15 in the student auditorium for the Untold Stories of the Past 150 Years Conference. Thank you.